Hello, my friends. There's been a lot of talk lately, well, it's nothing new, but how to get people more living wages so that they can live and provide for their families more and things like this. And sadly, especially in the political argument, there's never an argument to be made for more money for more working people that has anything to do with providing more value in exchange for more money. Instead, it's always about the mere existence. The cost of living is go up, and you exist, so you should get more money. On the surface, that kind of sounds nice, but below the surface, if you look beyond what the eyes can see, and most people won't look beyond what the eyes can see, they only see what the eyes can see. Anyway, if you look beyond what the eyes can see, anytime that people just get more money without value being any part of the equation whatsoever, it just perpetuates poverty even more. Look at the United States of America. This is the way that we vote for our elected leaders all the time. Whatever they're talking about, the end is always, the bottom line is this: who wants more money? Both sides are promising more money in one way or another to different groups of people. And most people always vote for the guy or the girl that's promising them the most money. The most money for existing. I've never heard them make an argument for more value in exchange for more money. When that argument starts happening, then we can at least be on the road to, okay, well, how do I provide more value? And as we start doing that, then we can annihilate poverty. We can bring back the middle, like as a popular idea. Shrink the poor, bring back the middle, so more of the poor are joining the middle. Maybe more people are getting rich. Who knows? But bottom line, people we want to annihilate poverty. That's something everybody wants to do, right? But I'm telling you, the only way to do that has to be a value-based argument, and nobody is making a value-based argument, especially in politics. So how do you get more money? How do you annihilate poverty? How do you get more for yourself, your family, and for other people around you all at the same time, as well as culturally, as well as individually? I mean, like all those things simultaneously. You learn how to provide more perceived value to the marketplace in exchange for more money. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, that's overwhelming. That sounds like too much work. I don't want to have to go through that deal. I should be able to get more money anyway. And for people that think that way, they flip and screw themselves over more than like anybody else, and before anybody else ever possibly could, before any politician could, before any news group or media, before anybody could. So if that happens to be you, and you've always thought that way, it's like, well, I shouldn't have to learn because I already went to college and I went to school, or I didn't go to school, but this is just the way it should be because the cost of living is up and I exist, so I should be making a living wage. If that's your argument and you're not making a value-based argument, then I'm hoping that after you hear this video, you're just going to draw a line in the sand and you're going to stop being so flippin' lazy about yourself and your own personal development so that you can get out of your own way. You can stop screwing yourself over and go through the deal of learning how to become more valuable to the marketplace and provide more perceived value there, because that's how you get more money, and you do it in a way without perpetuating more poverty culturally. And that's pretty self-absorbed, to get more money at the expense of everybody else because you were too lazy to go through the deal of learning how to provide more value. That's a pretty horrible, self-absorbed, ego-driven way to live, and that's the entire argument about who gets more money is entirely based on an ego trip, a bad ego trip that just perpetuates more poverty. So I hope you do not hear what I said as an insult or something to take offense over, because that's not what it is. I'm hoping that you hear this message as something that causes you to change your mind, draw a line in the sand, and decide you are done being lazy with developing yourself, developing your amazing brain and tapping into that so you can provide more value in exchange for more money. Because that helps everybody versus you getting more money simply for existing because the cost of living goes up, which everyone else pays for, and poverty perpetuates. So let it be value-based instead of that nonsense ego trippy stuff that is dominated by in politics and media. I hope that makes a lot of sense, because this is like the one thing, I mean there's other one things, but this is one of those one things that if everybody got on this bandwagon and stayed there and dedicated themselves to becoming more valuable and more of service to other people in exchange for more money, then everybody wins. It's a win-win, not a winners and losers. existing for more money is winners and losers. This is winners and winners, right? Actually, existing for more money is really, in the long run, losers and losers. There's no winners in that at all. But this is the opposite. It's winners and winners. And if you really care about other people outside of your own ego trip, you got to start asking the question, how can I provide more value to more people? How can I help more people solve their problems? How can I help more people outside of myself? And let that be the thing that drives a bigger paycheck so that I can do better than the cost of living. I hope that made a lot of sense to you. I so hope it does, because this is a message that needs to get out there. And if it became a conversation on the political arena, it could only be because it became a popular idea within mainstream voters. But most people don't think that way. And so that's why we've got what we've got. We have a political system that is very much representative of the people. Some people say, I wish we had better leaders that was more representative of the people. And the sad fact is, unfortunately, we do have politicians that are very representative of us. They're just as stupid and self-serving, or I should say they act just as stupid and as self-serving, and so on and so forth. And that's why we are in the mess that we are in. This is a country by the people, for the people. We need to be better people. If we're going to be better people, the argument better shift to, well, let's focus on value instead of just being entitled because I exist. All right, if you dig this message, click share. Share this, put this out there. If you're sick of the status quo of being just giving money to people for existing, if you're sick and tired of poverty perpetuating, if you're sick and tired of more people from the middle joining the poor, this mass exodus that we have right now, that is the middle class joining the poor. If you're sick and tired of all the criminals having the bulk supply of the money supply of the world, if you're sick and tired of all that nonsense, share this message if you feel this message is worth it, because this message is like how to reverse all of those things all in one shot. It's pretty incredible. And if you dig this message, then you might also like my website, fireyourboss.xyz, not .com, .xyz, fireyourboss.xyz. Don't have a job, don't want a job. I'll never have a job again. I work for free. Thousands of pieces of content on my fireyourboss.xyz website. If you dig this video, you'll probably like quite a lot of it. So pull from it whatever you want to. I work for free, don't have a job, don't want a job. I am more obsessed with providing value. When you go to my website, I think you're going to agree that it's very value driven. It is so stinking value driven that it could be a really nice change of pace for you. And yeah, it's just really cool stuff. So dig that, share it if you feel this is worthy of sharing, and get value from my website. If you got value from this video, you'll probably enjoy sharing this and visiting my website. All right, take care. Next value-driven video is coming very soon, because we've got a lot of problems, and I want to be on the front lines of the very few people that's actually doing something about it, so that tomorrow more people are going to do something about it. Draw a line in the sand today. Decide to no longer be lazy, because perhaps that's been the thing that's been keeping you from developing yourself personally. And look at it this way. The journey of 1,000 miles, anybody can take, anybody can complete if you take it one step at a time. The beautiful thing about one step at a time is anybody can digest one step at a time. And even just one step at a time will eventually take you to the journey of 1,000 miles, and draw whatever parallel you want to that. For the topic of this discussion, learning how to provide value. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't look at how you're going to cross the finish line. You have no idea. Just plan to get started, and learn. Everything is feedback from that point on. Mistakes, setbacks, failures, successes, all of it's feedback. And without making mistakes along the way, how are you going to know what your gaps are? How are you going to know what you got to learn? How are you going to know what skills to learn? How are you going to know if you need some emotional maturity? And that could be at the root of it for a lot of you too. I know it was for me, and sometimes it still is for me. Got to emotionally mature and spiritually mature and be a spiritual gangster. I should have wore that shirt on this video, my spiritual gangster t-shirt. This is very spiritual gangster stuff right here that I'm teaching you guys, and I hope you dig it. All right, so now seriously, at the end of this video, journey of 1,000 miles, one step at a time, is digestible by everybody. Learn how to produce value in exchange for more money. No more entitlement-driven crap that just perpetuates poverty. Aren't you sick and tired of poverty? It's growing every day, and nobody is sick of it enough to do anything about it that is actually real. So let's end this entitlement thing, this culture, even if it's Just you right now. Don't wait for somebody else. You be the leader. And if enough people have that attitude, then eventually it will be mainstream. It will become mainstream. And then our political leaders will start talking about it because they're just reflective of us. We'll have a better country. We'll have better leaders when we become better people, period. Share and fireyourboss.xyz and draw a line in the sand and start the conversation about value and ask the questions. Don't make the statements, ask the questions so that your mind is open to a rich, learning, creative experience. Bye for now.